I have seen that Darman
Man,
is in huge trouble due to a labor dispute.
and do I have some wacky news for you today? This is going to absolutely floor you with shock. It involves our beloved Darman. I'm sure all of you know Darman. He has his own little extended universe, the DMCU, the Darman Cinematic Universe. Even if you've never subjected yourself to the torture of watching a Darman video, I'm confident you've at least heard of them or seen them, because he pioneered an entire genre of telling the most basic stories and teaching the most basic lessons you learned as an 8-year-old.
These workers did a labor dispute at their place of business. What happens next will shock you. Instantly regrets it.
It was my guilty pleasure to watch them because I was so confused by their existence and their popularity. These things have like 50 million views sometimes. And it's literally things like, be nice, don't be mean, don't cheat, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, it feels like he's making these things as like this repository of human emotion to teach to aliens that are trying to study us. It's crazy, and what's crazier is how popular they were. And the titles, they legitimately were a massive smashing success that other channels have emulated. Things like Tall Girl Dumps Short Guy and Lives to Regret It, Man Cheats on Wife, Lives to Regret It, Employee Spits in Boss's Burrito, Lives to Regret It, or Kid Tries to Cheat on Math Test, What Happens Next is Shocking. Woman works 3 jobs to put food on the table for her kids. What happens next is shocking. That kind of thing. Darman started that. And he's also the one...
I mean, he is a genre-defining talent. Like, a generational talent, a genre-defining talent. Honestly, changed the f***ing game, let's be real.
Who always says that they're not just telling stories, they're changing lives. But this week, a lot of allegations came out against Darman, and it seems like they're not just telling stories.
I worked at Darman as crew. It was awful. I got fired for trying to organize. We had tons of safety and labor violations. No shot. Really? I mean, I do believe that. Get back to
They're changing the lives of their actors in a much worse way. According to a lot of beloved actors that I know and love, such as Steve, our boy Steve, I've made a lot of content around Darman, and Steve's been one of my favorites. He has corroborated a lot of these claims that they just don't get paid, like, at all. He says that the majority of the actors can't even afford rent when they're contracted by Darman Studios. So it's a pretty big deal.
Essentially, as an actor at Darman Studios, I am just a contract player. I have no employment there. I am just sort of called every now and then, as are all the other actors. And it just is not sustainable. One of the main issues is that not a single actor that works at Darman Studios can afford rent.
Hearing shit like that absolutely blows my mind because every single actor in the Darman cinematic universe has...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the most, like, that is the least surprising thing I've ever heard. Like, that's like, how about most actors that are in like big budget movies don't have, can't fucking pay rent? What the fuck? Of course Darman actors are not able to. What? Not that it's appropriate or normal or just, but like the Darman model is far from unique.
Has like 1,000 roles. Like Steve, his name's not Steve, but he'll always be Steve to me, damn it. His real name is Colin. Colin accounts for probably like 40% of total screen time in Darman's videos, and he's not getting paid enough to afford rent? That's outrageous. And I went into the comments because I wanted to see what people were saying about all of this, and usually when you go into the comments you expect to see some absolutely wild shit, like, Darman's a bad guy, he showed me his butthole in one of my dreams once. Or you'll find jokes like one of the top comments was, the PS5s changed Darman, which made me giggle. It's talking about Darman's obsession with giving away PS5s in the videos. But then one comment made an extremely good point that's pretty alarming to think about. A lot of the actors in Darman's videos are children, and if he's this comfortable exploiting industry veterans like Colin has been in Better Call Saul, had minor roles in other huge productions, he has been in the industry for a long time outside of the Darman Studios universe. If Darman's exploiting people like Colin and other adult actors with horrible pay, is he even paying the children at all, I have to wonder. Like, I can only imagine how messy that could potentially be. Like, does he just like, write clout into their contracts? Like, hey, Junior, I'm making my 48th video on not judging a book by its cover. I need you to play the principal role. I'll give you 1,000 exposure dollars. My YouTube channel has 17.8 million subs. This is going to be great for your Instagram and your TikTok, so just sign here. No, you're not getting pay. I mean, I can give you like some sticks of gum, but that's about it. It's very concerning because if all of these allegations are true, and every single actor I've seen in the Dhar Mann cinematic universe has come out corroborating each other, and they are out there protesting right now outside of Dhar Mann Studios, if all of those are true, it's very worrying to think about if he's also doing the same to the children actors in his content. Because those kids are not industry veterans, and their parents likely aren't familiar with the industry either. They might not know what fair pay is, or if there even is pay for the work. Like, there's just so much messiness to all of that that could potentially be going on if all of the allegations are true. One of his big lessons is what happens in the dark always comes to the light. And goddamn is Dhar Mann learning that one right now. I saw that comment across every TikTok ever referring to this situation. Like, Dhar Mann is getting
Charlie's upset his Dhar Mann consumption was not ethical. Yeah, fucked up, man.
dunked on with his own lessons. He even made a video kind of about this same thing, such as mean boss mistreating employees and lives to regret it. Dhar Mann is in that stage right now because
oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't even realize. I did not realize that he had put himself in there in the crosshairs like this. Jarvis's video on it is really good. My friend, you think we haven't watched that? Also gone through the entire library of Darman content? Are you crazy? Not only have we watched Jarvis's video like a long ass time ago, but I have personally gone through the library of, we had a Darman arc a long time ago, dude.
all of his employees, well, I guess they're not technically employees, they're contractors. All of them are coming out to
oh, he made a video about the exploitation? Oh,
talk
shit.
about how miserable it was when it comes to the pay.
Okay.
And Dhar Mann's complete refusal to even talk to them. He just dodges them at every possible opportunity, and apparently has even cultivated this culture where if you speak out against him, you get fired. So I'd like to go over all of these allegations with you and show you some of their TikToks and the protests that they're currently doing against Dhar Mann Studios.
Get him! Oh my god. Oh my god. I know exactly where this is. That's crazy. I think I worked inside of these buildings in the past. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's wild.
Walk out with us.
Yep.
You get more money. Put your name in the credits at the top.
There's a ton of footage of their protest, and I recognize every single person in it. I also love the shirts some of them are wearing that says, "What happens next is shocking." That's just beautiful. So even though Dhar Mann appears to want to teach lessons of positivity to everyone else, it's rules for thee and not for me. According to pretty much every actor, they're all saying the same thing about his refusal to communicate, as well as his refusal to actually pay them like an actual good wage for their work, which is odd because he makes so much money off of the content. It's tens of millions. Because when Dhar Mann makes a video, not only does it blow up on YouTube, getting at least 10 million views pretty much, but it's kind of like Ouroboros constantly eating its own ass here, because he'll take that same video that he made for YouTube and repackage it on every other platform, Facebook, TikTok.
I don't get it. Are they protesting the labor treatment of the videos? No, man. The treatment of the workers. You think the people are out there outside of the studios protesting like the most basic stories? Like, who the fuck would protest the Dhar Mann video? Like, the entire purpose of the Dhar Mann videos are that it's like stealing is wrong. In regards to actor compensation, we believe I pay our actors competitively compared to our peers. Our rates for actors vary. Extras receive $18 an hour, and speaking role actors receive $33 to $44 an hour. We are proud to have given thousands of actors job opportunities last year alone, paid millions of dollars in actors' compensation. That's the Dhar Mann statement. Huh. I mean,
everywhere to farm even more views for this crazy cycle of just getting maximum absorbency of views from everywhere. That's a ton of money. But even aside from the money,
that's pretty bad for they don't pay actors overtime and frequently shot 15, 17-hour days. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely bad by SAG standards, but like, I'm surprised. Like, that's YouTube wise, like, I feel like everything I know from my experience, like acting in fucking YouTube videos and shit like that, it's either often like a homie hookup. My standards for pay are so low. $33 an hour sounds phenomenal to me. Isn't this a pro-crime channel? No, the only kind of crime that we don't appreciate here is exploitation. I'm literally fucking surprised he even pays that much, which, by the way, is still unacceptable. I'm just shocked. New YouTube is much more corporate. Yeah. Yeah, dog, you ain't getting paid for the gym acting. Okay, chill. You never even saw that. And secondly, yeah, of course, it was a homie hookup. I did it for a homie. Okay, let's continue.
Money he's generating on the content itself. He was already an extremely successful and extremely wealthy businessman. He had a very successful cosmetics line, and I think even before Darman Studios blew up for him, he was worth right around $50 million. This is a guy that could easily afford to pay his actors well, and I would have expected him to do that, because I always got the impression that he was just like a genuinely good guy who just wanted to tell basic positive messages.
What?
But according to all...
Dude, okay, this is the other thing. It's like, how do you achieve that level of fame and Mr. Normie Jesus is not even like a little suspicious of you, but like he talked about me like I'm a controversial person to the tune of I Show Speed, okay, when he was defending me for the charity video. That blows my mind. It's like, it goes to show, dude, liberalism over everything, baby, straight up. I don't get it.
All the actors, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, which is extremely sad, and I feel terrible for all the actors in this situation, because it really did play out like a Darman video. Aspiring up-and-coming actors thought they had landed a great gig with a great guy. What happens next will shock you.
We are protesting. Why we are out.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, look, solidarity with the striking workers. I hope they get fairly compensated for doing these Darman videos. I mean, I want this both as a firm supporter of workers' rights, obviously, but also as someone who wants to see more Darman content out there. You know what I mean? Let's keep it going, because what happened next did shock me, and I would like to not be shocked. What is this? Here's the legendary Darman reactor.
Immediately! You're not welcome here.
Shut up, old man.
What you say?
Amber, you can't talk to my dad like that.
He needs to hear that. He can't run over you like that.
He's my
This isn't even Darman. This is a shitty copycat of Darman, for the record. How did you find
dad.
this?
You know what I'm gonna do. You need to be disciplined.
Oh my gosh.
This
What
should
are
have
you
been
doing?
10 years
Stop.
ago.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, stop. Ouch. Ouch. Oh my gosh, stop. What are you doing?
You're not gonna ruin your own life and Emily's too. Maybe this discipline will help you.
I won't anymore. I learned my lesson. Sorry, please stop.
Yeah, that's a real video we watched. And no, it's not a pornography. No, it's not porn. It's a Darman knockoff. Why can't we get more of these reacts? Dude, why can't you? You should ask yourself that question.
Stop.
Jim disciplined Emily's friend Amber that day. Emily was proud of her dad and decided...
Like, that was a positive thing. That was... Okay, let's just get back to fucking Darman.
Out there right now. We've been talking to a lot of actors. It's the same. Everybody feels the same across the board. The trouble is, there's a culture at the studio of if you talk, you're out.
It seems the moral mastermind Darman is ruling his company with an iron fist of fear.
True.
Where if people speak out against him, I guess they're fired, at least according to the actors. I'm only showing you Colin's statement here, but there are so many others. You can find all of it by just looking up the Darman protests. All of the main actors that you're used to seeing in Darman's videos have come out against him. And they're not being greedy, by the way.
All of our favorites from the Dharmaverse, dude. All of our favorites from the Dharmaverse.
Like, all of them are just saying, we just want, like, moderately decent pay for the work. Like, all of them are proud of the work they've done with Darman. Colin concludes the video by talking about how much all of it has meant to him. But if they can't afford rent, there's a huge problem. They're not looking to be paid fucking 6 figures per production or anything. They're just looking for fair pay for the work that they've done and are continuing to do for you. And the least you can do is at least hear them out, go to a meeting. But Colin and all of the other actors talk about how Darman continuously avoids talking to them. He refuses to actually sit down and have a conversation. I'll let Colin explain that situation.
So we decided to come together as a group and talk collectively with our boss, Darman. We sent a letter to him, a hard copy and an email. The email was CC'd to the head of production as well, so that we made sure that Dar got it, but it was addressed to Dar. It was delivered to Dhar. We were contacted.
Wait. Is his name actually Dhar and then his last name is Man? Because I just always thought his name is Darman. Is it actually Dhar and then his last name is Man? Everything I've known has been a lie. Is short for Dharminder. Oh my God. That's crazy. Man is a common Indian last name. I thought his name was Darman this whole time.
Said we could have a meeting to discuss our issues.
Sorry, let's get back
that
to
meeting was pushed several times, changed on us. When we finally got to the meeting, we had reiterated that we wanted it to be with Dhar. Dhar was not there. Following a couple days, reiterating again, we would like to speak specifically with Dhar.
I mean, this is
what
awesome.
The meeting is about. This is
100% awesome. What they did here is dope. What they did here is great. They wanted to fucking have a conversation with their boss. They literally gathered everyone that works on the set to do this. You played it by the book, basically. This is actually what you would do in the absence of a union. You know what I mean? Like he should be excited at the prospect, even as a capital owner, to have this conversation with his employees without a union being formed. It would be even better if a union was formed to protect them, obviously. But like, what he doesn't realize is like, this is actually beneficial to him that they went to him. It kind of also shows that like they do have confidence in him as like a decent boss. You know what I mean? Because like, or maybe they just didn't know that they could get outside support. It's a mistaken confidence, clearly. Yeah, naivete.
Our boss. This is who we want to talk to. End of the week comes and goes. We learned Saturday there will not be a meeting.
Apparently Darman couldn't even be bothered to attend the meeting after pushing it several times and eventually just shutting that shit down entirely and putting the kibosh on it. He has so little respect for his talent that he refuses to even acknowledge them or hear them out or face them in person. He just hides behind emails and horrible pay.
All of us at the studio got together to talk about how much we should be paid. What happens next will shock you. Yeah. Worker reads copy of Das Kapital. What happens next will shock you.
I suppose. At least according to all of the actors. This is pretty...
You don't even pay your editors? Fuck yeah, baby. Union, no thank you. I don't want to stand in line for bread. Your editors can't afford rent, so don't you think it's a little bit hypocritical? Dude, I love not paying my editors. I'm sorry. It's my kink. You're kink shaming. Okay? It's their kink too. You're double kink shaming. I know it's bait, dude. It's the most tried out trope of all time. You're kink shaming. You're kink shaming them and you're kink shaming me. Also, HasanAbi does not deserve to get paid. Let's be real. Actually, he's been doing a great job so far. This year, HasanAbi PR year, you know, obviously some of the efforts from HasanAbi negativity year is still very much around and will never go away. But like, you know, he's doing great this year. He deserves his pay this year, except for the fact that he makes banger TikTok videos and we can't even fucking upload them because we're constantly banned on TikTok. Now he's just making banger TikTok videos and posting it on his TikTok. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? You know what I mean? What's happening here, Austin Ox? The fuck is this?
Pretty much all of them. I have yet to see any like defense of Darman, so we only have one side of this.
I should do a contract like Steven Crowder with Austin Ox. If you get me banned, I'm docking your pay. Oh,
Story. I'm
no.
very interested to hear his side of it because this is an overwhelming amount coming out against him. And I really feel like what they're looking for is super reasonable. Talk to us. Like, that's the only reason the protest is happening right now. Like, the pay is obviously a huge problem, but the biggest issue is that he won't even talk to them to at least hear them out about the pay. So they don't even have that first step of getting the pay fixed, which is communication with the fucking guy who's decided their pay. So they just want to talk to him, but he won't let them. Which is why they're standing outside of the Darman studios, ringing cowbells, blowing whistles, and letting everyone know how awful it's been. Like, it is just wild to me that Darman, the absolute moral authority, the mega mind of morals, is this much of an asshole, apparently. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to talk about all of this and let everyone know what's going on with it. Pretty interesting situation. Hoping for the...
So my dad was a workers' rights lawyer in California. He said that it's very, very difficult to do a civil lawsuit with a company with less than 20 employees because the money usually doesn't come straight out of the boss's pocket. Settling out of court is usually the move, and the boss and company like that due to optics, but the settlement would generally be smaller.
The best for the actors that aren't getting paid well here. Hopefully that gets resolved. That's about it. See ya.
Okay, let's do fucking...
Fam, if you know me, you know that I watch a lot of Dhar Mann videos. I've talked about him on my main channel. I've talked about him on my gold channel. And for the past year, I have created a little bingo game on my stream and my live channel based around the fact that Dhar Mann videos are so incredibly predictable that all of their tropes fit on a bingo board. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to come up.
Mom always say, what happens in the dark?
Are you serious? And it's been fun. It's been fun for me, and it's been fun for my community to make fun of these poorly told stories with questionable morals, because we know how extremely successful and lucrative they are. We know that...
That's Ted's, right? The good stuff. Is that Ted's? Whose merch is he wearing? Is that Ted's merch? Or is that Jarvis's merch himself? No, it's Ted's, right? Or is it Cody's? I don't know. I feel like I have that. It's really good. It's really nice.
They're relatively low budget, and we see the views, and we see how often the videos come out, and we know how much money the operation is printing. We don't know exactly, but we know that it's a gargantuan amount of money. It's also fun because we make a point not to drag the actors who are working and acting in the Dhar Mann videos, because they are just doing a job and they are finding a way to make a living doing their craft. And I think that that is a perfectly respectable thing to do that doesn't need to be made fun of. There's tons of stuff outside of that to be made fun of in the Dhar Mann universe. But what absolutely is wrong is what the actors at Dhar Mann Studios are dealing with right now. A number of Dhar Mann actors and staff are staging a protest outside of Dhar Mann Studios because they don't make a living wage acting in Dhar Mann videos. This should be ridiculous to you, especially for like the regular actors. Some of these actors have been working on Dhar Mann for 4-5 years at this point, because they are in so many videos. They produce so many videos, and those videos have never stopped getting millions of views. Traditionally, actors have unions to protect them from predatory wage practices, but Dhar Mann
should have watched his own video. Abusive boss. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I feel like I reacted to one of his like boss employee wage cuck relationship videos where I did not think that it was very leftist, but I wonder. It was definitely a bit silly.
Whole operation is non-union, and so that allows them to cut corners and pay dramatically lower wages. There's a hashtag going around right now, and a lot of people have been sending this to me, called hashtag protest Dhar Mann. And if you go to this hashtag on TikTok, you will see a lot of the Dhar Mann actors posting videos and sharing video of the scene of their protest, and kind of exposing the Dhar Mann operation as not being the morally good and happy-go-lucky place that it appears in the stories that are changing lives. As a quick aside, I just want to call out the fact that so many Dhar Mann videos for years ended with Dhar Mann saying, and remember, we're not just telling stories, we're changing lives. And when you share our videos, you're helping to change lives too. I used to joke that, like, no, we're changing your life. We are padding your pockets because, you know, it's a very manipulative thing to tell your audience. You're not changing anybody's life by sharing.
Wrong, hateful, wrong. These videos have changed my life. Before I thought, you know, it was okay to be a bad guy. And then I watched a Darman video showing me that it's wrong to bully people with Sniper Wolf. And I found out that, like, my haters will come and give me bags of cash. Or my haters will actually flex on me with bags of cash if I cyberbully them. Which is what I found out, which is what I do now, actually. I do that to my haters. Earlier in the day, I told one of my haters, my life is always going to be better than yours. That was a moment that I learned from Darman. That was a designated Darman moment, okay? I did do that to one of my haters earlier today on Twitter.
A Dhar Mann video where like an evil babysitter gets what was coming to them. And that's fine, but like, let's not get on our moral high horse about it, especially when like, you know, you're not practicing what you preach. So where I want to start with this is one of the Dhar Mann actors. His name is Colin Borden, and he can regularly be seen in Dhar Mann videos playing the affable dad who has no clue what his kids are up to. I think he gives a good overview of this whole situation.
Essentially, as an actor at Dhar Mann Studios, I am just a contract player. I have no employment there. I am just sort of called every now and then, as are all the other actors.
I think it's pretty funny that like, I'm sorry, I do think it's pretty funny. Maybe my brain is broken with like being a permanently cynical person. When I see people go, I thought Darman was all about being good to others, but that's kind of cruel. Like all of these people are like, oh man, I can't believe it. Like you watched those videos and you legitimately thought that like this was like an objectively good guy, which means like actually the fucking dumbest type of propaganda works. Like you just need to hit like a little button on like feel good liberalism. And that's it. Norman media consumption is like, I'm willing to bet these motherfuckers not to like, God, my brain is so broken. My brain is so broken that it's like the PS5 changed Darman. I can't help but feel like if you ask these motherfuckers what they think about socialism or me or whatever, they'd be like, dude, he's the worst piece of shit on the planet.
And it just is not sustainable. And there are a lot of issues at hand here, but one of the main issues is that not a single actor that works at Darman Studios can afford rent.
Let that sink in. That is a absurd reality. Obviously, like, it's a claim here. I don't know it to be true, but I have every reason to believe the number of actors who work at this company corroborating this story than I do, you know, the corporate bigwigs who may be denying it. So that sucks.
This is a show that has millions of views across multiple social media platforms. Videos are shot, edited, posted, repackaged as new videos, reposted in other places over and over.
Yeah, ain't no way these men and women are seeing even a fraction of the residuals of that. I do think that given how much money this operation is printing, it is kind of wild that they're getting paid that low, that little. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Are they working full time though? From what I understand, they're working like 17-hour work days, no overtime. That's what some of the workers that were in here. It is weird. Like I said, it's weird to me because like I just never thought that this would be shocking to so many people, but so many people are shocked by this.
Over and over and over and over again, racking in millions of views, ad revenue, all this sort of stuff. The studio has continued to expand for some time. My entire tenure there, when I first started, we shot everything, as I've told you guys on lives and things like that. We shot everything in an apartment building downtown, in an apartment, not even the building. Occasionally we would go to the garage of that building, but
I freelance for a living, Pago. What they're demanding for not being in a union is straight up unrealistic. They got paid what they agreed to in a contract, and now they want more clout. Get a second job, bro. Why are these porno actors acting like it's their full-time job? Bro, you are, you know, I'm not going to be upset at this person. I'm going to try to describe this to you, okay? Every single time you, as a contractor, as a freelance contractor, defend a boss in this circumstance, when other freelance contractors are demanding more wages, like higher wages, better benefits, you are working against yourself, okay? You're just basically saying, please, sir, I love the boot. Give me more of the boot, sir. My lord, I deserve my position in society. You're a cuck. You're a cuck. You are objectively harming yourself, okay? What you should do in a normal circumstance is look at the situation and go, oh shit, that guy's just like me and he deserves more because I feel like I deserve more. You, on the other hand, have shut off this part of your brain that says you actually do deserve more from the work that you put in. I work in this industry. I'm a cuck. Yeah, you are, but you don't have to be. Okay, it's super simple. Just unfuck the part of your brain that just says like, no, I deserve to eat the boot. Like, and you know that's a good starting point for you. You are king shaming. Yes, I am king shaming. Absolutely, it's unacceptable because like that kind of attitude, especially when left uncontrolled, is one that a lot of bosses want to instill upon the working population, and it's damaging. It's not just damaging to you, damaging to others as well. So it's not good. I don't like it.
I was really just all in one apartment, and now there are 3 sound stages in Burbank, but things haven't really gotten better for us.
So that is one.
Wait, it's actually in Burbank? That's crazy.
Here.
I thought it was
actors like Colin, who have been with Darman for years and years and years, have seen the operation grow, and maybe, you know, we're willing to, you know, especially when you start at a smaller company that's an upstart or a startup or something like that, you know what they're working with, and you can sometimes be willing to take less pay with the hope that this grows over time and the organization grows over time, and then you are rewarded for your investment of your time in the organization when it was, you know, not able to pay you in the same way. not able to compensate you in the same way. This is why a lot of companies give stock, like tech companies and stuff. Like we'll give stock to their employees so that they are incentivized and they're compensated with the growth of the company. But this sounds like, these people have not seen a noticeable raise in their pay as the organization around them has gotten more and more like gigantic.
And again, I don't want to go into specifics because it's a kind of a big thing and it's really just between us. But I think that people should be aware of why we are protesting, why we are out there right now. We've been talking to a lot of actors. It's the same. Everybody feels the same across the board. The trouble is, there's a culture at the studio of if you talk, you're out. So we decided to come together as a group and talk collectively with our boss, Darman.
That's also pretty concerning, right? You can imagine how terrifying it is that if you speak out against the boss or you try to communicate, something that's not working for you, then you're at risk of your job. That does not sound like a healthy working environment just from the jump. So the reason that they've all had to band together is so that they can't fire all of them. And I would not be surprised if Darman tried to get rid of this problem by just firing all of these people. And that would be a terrible way to go. I really hope that he, listens. But the rest of Colin's story does not inspire confidence.
We sent a letter to him, a hard copy and an email. The email was CC'd to the head of production as well, so that we made sure that Dar got it, but it was addressed to Dar. It was delivered to Dar. That letter was forwarded to the HR department, which we are not employees.
Also, HR, as the point, HR is not actually there for you. It's never there for you. It always works for the company. It's there to protect the company, not there to protect you. It might sometimes charity during tax season. My man thinks Hasan timed the earthquake in his country for the tax season. I did. I hate to admit it, guys. You remember the HARP weapon that we were talking about? Yeah, I got a hold of it. The earthquake machine, I hit the button, dude. I did that. My man thinks you can deduct things you donate in 2023 from your 2022 taxes. That's another big L. That's also true. I didn't even think about that. I had the wherewithal to figure out the earthquake button, but I did not have the wherewithal to realize that this doesn't work in the future.
Of Darman Studios, we are contract players. So
damn, I followed for a long time, but this might be it for me.
But it was forwarded over there. We were contacted, said we could have a meeting to discuss our issues. That meeting was pushed several times, changed on us. When we finally got to the meeting, we had reiterated that we wanted it to be with Dar. Dar was not there.
That's fucked. It's like, you are the guy. You are the guy. Do you not respect these people enough to show your face and listen to the problems that they have? The people that have worked at your organization for years and years. The people who, the fans are going to notice. You know what I mean? It reminds me of just I don't know. It reminds me of Power Rangers back in the day, where it was similarly non-union work, and due to contract disputes and pay disputes, which were really low, and the Power Rangers actors were having to do martial arts and crazy stunts where they were putting real risk to their bodies, were not being paid a fair wage. And when 3 of them tried to step up and negotiate, they were just fired and replaced. And then they cut together an episode where with existing footage where they handed off the powers while these other 3 Rangers went away into the sunset. But in reality, they were fired for asking for a little bit more pay for
Do you think Darman will learn a valuable lesson? No. The only valuable lesson is that under a capitalist organization of the economy, you can and will always get away with this. Okay? Profit margins are more important. And I doubt that social pressure will get Darman to change his ways. Moms for Hasan, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Not only that, but I don't know. I just I don't think it's going to happen.
Work that they were doing with their bodies. It's not a perfect analog, but it reminds me that corporations will do this. And workers have to advocate for themselves a lot of the times if they're not protected by things like unions. And it feels weak It feels weak that the meeting was moved multiple times and that Darman won't meet with them. Just meet with your people, dude. I don't care if they're contractors. No one knows that. These are the people that they associate with Darman videos. I see this guy, I go, dad in Darman videos. You know what I mean? And I've seen job postings come through. A lot of times people will send me Darman job postings, and I will find out about the pay that they're offering at various, roles within Darman Studios, and they're always like the bottom of the barrel pay. They're always like the lowest like pay you could possibly be offering for this type of role, because it's an industry where, oh, you can get like real experience in this like production environment, in this thing that has millions of views. It's a big name and stuff. That is not an excuse for treating people like resources.
We checked back in following a couple days, reiterating again, we would like to speak specifically with Dar. This is what the meeting is about. This is our boss. This is who we want to talk to.
I'm thinking of other arguments you can make. Like, oh, it's a big operation. If a few employees at like, I don't know, Google wanted to meet with the CEO, they may not be able to do that. They might not be able to accommodate that because it's tens of thousands of people. I do not think the Darman company is that big to warrant this type of thing. I have worked at companies larger than Darman's company. I'm sure of it. And
yeah, there's 0% chance that like a small YouTube studio has like where Darman is like on every fucking set, most likely, has made it so that like it's impossible to fucking talk to him. That's crazy. I mean, he's just actively avoiding it. You know what I mean? Like, you can avoid the top of the hour ad breaks, right? Actively by subscribing for $5 or for free. If you don't want to see the top of the hour ad breaks, like Darman doesn't want to see his underpaid, exploited employees. Now, of course, there's also other methods, like you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. You can get gifted a sub. So, hey, Bozo, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Dude, I'm sneaking these in today. Like, you're literally like, oh, wow, what's he doing? Like, you will never guess what happens next, like at the top of the hour. You know what I mean? And then a valuable lesson is learned that a great fucking ad segue is coming. Like, it's because all the pent up. You know what? You know why my segues have been popping lately? It's because we were covering like very serious stories with the earthquake stuff, and like I did not actually do any ad segues in that time. So I've had like pent up, like it's been inside of me that I haven't fucked with you guys. And it's just been like pent up resentment and frustration. So I'm just like opening up. Because you feel guilty for doing good segues during international tragedies? No, I don't usually do segues during international tragedies. That's the thing. Because I feel like it breaks the content up. We're not supposed to be having fun. And I think I also have like, because I haven't done any segues in a while. Yeah, like semen retention, segue retention, exactly. Because I haven't done a lot of segues in a while that you guys like forgot what it's like. So you're just shocked every time. It's pretty cool. I like it. And you?
The CEO, I don't know what his actual role is in the company, but the face of it should be available for something like this. Especially just like, even if he's not required like legally or professionally, like personally, like, come on, you know what I mean? Where's the heart? I think the biggest issue that a lot of people have with this, like as I'm reading the comments, is like, this is antithetical to how Darman presents himself. And it's why it's, one of the reasons it's so upsetting. I've known for years that Darman is like just a businessman. He's a serial entrepreneur. He had businesses before this and he'll have businesses after this. But a lot of kids and a lot of branding from this operation has positioned him as this like morally good guy who just wants to like tell good stories. You know what I mean? And I think it's important that like people are like seeing through the shit. I thought Darman was all about being good to others, but that's kind of cruel. Darman took the fattest L. And Darman says what happens in the dark always comes to light. Literally, there's so many people saying what happens in the dark always comes to light.
We learned Saturday there will not be a meeting. Meanwhile, a lot of other stuff has happened at the studio. Some not great stuff. Whether it's connected or not, we don't know because no one's talking to us. So that's why we're here right now, because all we wanted to do was sit down and have a conversation with our boss. That didn't happen. We were told explicitly that there will not be any meetings and that any issues that we have can be written down and forwarded to HR. And that's just not acceptable.
And it's worth noting that through all of this, these people just want to go back to work.
Classic.
They just like they're like, please just like let us make a living wage so that we can continue working on these silly videos.
The goal is to keep going to work, to have a conversation with Dhar, and to keep working at Darman Studios with the people that I love, doing the work that I love. We'll see.
I cannot believe that it would really eat into the profit margins that much. It just feels, and I haven't seen the books, I don't know, but it just feels like corporate greed, dude. And we've seen it. You know, we've seen all of these layoffs and shit happening across a number of industries right now. It's kind of like the moment that we're in, but it never gets easier to see, like, when companies like show their true colors.
Mostly the OG actors of Darman Studios are at this studio.
Arriving united.
Let's go.
What are you protesting?
I'm protesting.
Damn, they said man up and talk to us.
Man never talks to anyone. He silently fires people, and he doesn't pay anyone what they're worth.
Damn. I mean, we're hearing some of the stuff. He doesn't talk to anyone. He doesn't pay people what they're worth. These are the claims. And and I'm just like, you know, as someone who like would prefer to align myself more with the workers here than Big Dhar, because he's got all of the resources in the world to defend himself. I'm, you know, more likely to take these actors at their word. We've got Mayor Mulroney here. She always plays the the mean girl. She's always kind of a jerk, but we love her for it.
For over like 4.5 years. I mean, that's more than a college education. So to be treated like I'm not even worth being listened to at all, that was just, there are so many like other.
You'll notice that they're making a bunch of noise. I think
one thing people need to understand is that it doesn't matter what their output is. Like, you might not like their performances. You might think like, oh, they're just porn acting. Why the fuck do they want more? But I don't like that level of assessment. Okay? That is not what the assessment here is. In a just situation, the assessment would both revolve around their individual performances, especially matched up to the expectation, because like in a lot of circumstances, the expectation is that they do like porn acting. But more importantly than that is how much value they're generating, okay? That's how it's supposed to work. And you want that at your company. You want that. If you're a worker, if you're a wage laborer, you want your boss to be like, all right, we're making more money this year. We're increasing your salaries. That's what is supposed to happen, okay? In relation to how much more money they're making. That's literally what is supposed to happen. And I doubt that they're getting paid that. Yeah, same people who don't get the bad porn acting is also by design. Same with super obvious writing. Since this context is not meant for native English speakers exclusively, it's made with international audiences in mind. Exactly. Yeah. And you should remember that always, by the way. Okay? You should always remember that, because this gets lost in the sauce too. A lot of people do not have that mindset where you're like, do I deserve more? Like, I'm kind of doing shit work. Do I deserve more? I steal from the company kitchen. Do I deserve more? It's not about how little work you do. It's about what your output is. And oftentimes, almost in all circumstances, your company is definitely universally paying you less than what you generate for them. And that is called profits. You know? Did my man just say native English? Yes. Like native speakers. That's not like about indigenous people. It's just a normal way to describe the like, it's not made for people who are English is their first language. It's made for ESL. English is a second language. And he's right. He's actually, that chatter who said that is 100% correct. A big part of the reason why Darman videos pop off, because we were confused by it too. We're like, what the fuck? Why do they speak like this? It's literally designed for international audiences of mine who don't really speak English that well. That's why there's not a lot of talking even in the videos.
That's to disrupt the work that's happening there. Like I guess it's like hard to film in that environment. It's hard to work in that environment. They just want to be heard. It really sucks that it's come to this, but it also sucks that the people, you know, yeah, I found this, I feel like a broken record at this point, but you know, to see people who've like really invested so much of their time for so little, it's like, it's not a charity, of course, and they're exchanging, you know, their labor for money, but it's okay to ask for more, especially because it's not a living wage and they've been trying to make things work, you know, and hoping that they'll get better, and they've reached a boiling point, and that's why we're here. Someone's holding up a felon, is holding up a felon sign, actually. You know, not a lot of people know this, and this is a little unfair. What does this say? Never judge a felon by his something. And I feel conflicted about saying this, but this is in reference to the fact that Darman was charged with a felony. He did defraud the city of Oakland. This is in 2012.
True.
Darman.
Oh my God, we did cover this. Remember back when we first, oh God, old heads in the chat, they've all probably left by now because they recognized finally the truth that I'm a transphobe. But if you are one of the old head HasanAbi heads who hasn't also recognize that they themselves are trans and come out to your friends and family after many years of watching and stayed in the community, this was a part of the story, you know? This was something that we covered.
It was in Oakland. He had a pot business, and he was charged with defrauding a city beautification program in Oakland to the tune of I think it's 40 grand or something like that. Yeah, the city paid Mann more than $44,000 based on fraudulent paperwork. Now, this has since been expunged. I do have to say that. And I do think that people can grow, you know, from their transgressions in the past. But I was providing that context as to why, you know, this particular person is taking that blow right now.
Show that felon one got him pissed off.
What's her sign say? Multimillionaire ignores actors, instantly regrets it.
I love that.
That is where the Carl mural used to be.
So this is another interesting allegation. There was a beloved Darman actor named, I believe, Carl Judy, who passed away. And to honor his memory, they made a mural at the Darman Studios of him, posted it on social media, and then apparently took it down a few days later. I don't know about you, but that seems to me that it was just for the clout of it all, and that doesn't.
Bro, that's wild. What the fuck? That's just don't even put that up. That's ruthless, dog. That is ruthless. What the fuck?
Feel good. One could argue that they needed that, you know, area for production or what have you. It is unsettling. And if the workers are also unsettled by it, I think that validates my feeling a little bit because they know more than me. They said maybe the landlord told them to take it down. So we don't know the context. We don't know the context, but they mentioned it.
I wasn't supposed to cry, but it's just that I felt alone for a long time.
Man, it's just so sad. It's just so sad.
There's an atmosphere of fear there. Really? And so because we saw if you do bring something up, all of a sudden you disappear.
If you won't listen to us, if you don't respect us, we're gonna show up and we're gonna show you that we mean business. And if it hurts your brand, I'm sorry, but you don't get to go around acting like you're a moral guru when you treat the people who helped make you like crap. It's not fair. And he's not gonna be able to pretend that he spreads good messages when he doesn't treat the people around him.
She's spitting. Well said, Mira Mulroney. I mean, that really hits the nail on the head. I think that he should get bad press for this. He should have to respond. You know, it sucks that the workers have had to go public in order to motivate Mr. Mann to respond, but they have, and I think that we should support them. I personally will not be, you know, engaging with Darman stuff. Darman Bingo is on indefinite hiatus until the situation gets sorted out. I hope that it's sorted out in a way that is, you know, equitable and fair to the workers. But if it doesn't, then fuck Darman. But, you know, I'm going to keep an open mind and see what happens. But I wanted to highlight.
I want Darman to man up. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect this kind of behavior from a man who has done so much good in the space. A man who has basically defined a genre and then redefined it. You know, I think that is unacceptable. I believe that he will do the right thing. I'm just kidding. I don't at all. I can't even say this with a straight face. I be the Dar who manned up. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop. I strike till he Dar on my man. Oh my God. Okay. We're done. We're done with that. Holy fuck. He Darman, but he'll never be dumb man. Okay, that's not even that good. All right. You ruined it. Good.